Okay. Hi. Just trying to get it all loaded up on my computer too. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Why is it not working? But when you get in here, say hi. Huh. I can't find it on my computer. How interesting. Did I start the video on my news feed or in the group? What the heck did I do? I see there's some people in here, so you all found me. How come oh. All right. It's, my computer's lagging. Hi, happy Tuesday. How interesting. Yeah, so I go to the group and I can't access it. Brenda's here. Hi. Yay. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, I think I'm good. Let me just double check sound. How interesting. Aha, it's working. Okay, cool. So here we are in another 12-week series exercise class with a focus on spine health. Now, believe it or not, there is some carryover from core and pelvic floor work to support your spine. So there is a little bit of repeat from our last 12-week series where we focused mostly on deep core and pelvic floor, but also sprinkled in hip mobility, thoracic spine and rib cage mobility, definitely breathing. That is fundamental for the health of the core. And it's gonna kind of trickle in again during this series. But practice makes progress, so the more that we do it, the better we get. So I'm glad to be here with you all. So I just want to tell you all really quickly a quick story, and maybe you all can be inspired from it. So many of you have probably heard of intermittent fasting, and I don't subscribe to the mainstream intermittent fasting, which is, I believe it's 12, no. It's like you only eat for an 8-hour window. And to me, that's not enough time because I eat a lot during the day. But what I am doing is a different version of intermittent fasting to support my digestive health. So not for weight loss benefits, not for any other benefit, but giving my digestive system a break. And what that means is I used to be somebody who would eat literally until I closed my eyes. Like I would be eating something in bed, right before bed. How silly, because we don't need food or anything to fuel sleep. You know, we have plenty of storage on board to make it through a night of sleep. But anywho, what I'm doing now is I am ensuring that I get 12 hours without putting anything in my mouth, and my digestive system gets a break. So it's helpful because just like any muscle group, just like any system, like if you have that working all the time, it's gonna get tired. It's gonna, you know, maybe dysfunction or have issues. So I stop eating at 6 or 6:30. Well, tonight the time kind of got away from me, and I literally shoved so much food in my mouth right before coming on here, and I ate really, really fast, and now I'm just like, whoa, feeling a little gross. But what that means is I am not gonna eat for the rest of the night, and then when I wake up in the morning, I go to the gym for 6, and I can have a little bite of something before the gym or a coffee with a tiny bit of creamer in it to go right into my workout. So that'll match my 12-hour window of not eating or anything. So it's been, I think, helpful, to be honest. I really like the what I'm feeling and the energy, and I'm sleeping better too. So when you're not digesting and you're sleeping, then you are able to sleep better. So anyways, just wanted to share that little tidbit for you. A couple other housekeeping things, just a reminder, I have a new coaching program. It is the Reclaim and Reset for Life coaching program, and the foundation of that is it's a 4-month commitment. You work with myself and we coach you through how to bring us back to the fundamentals of health. So health doesn't have to be hard. It's pretty simple and we overcomplicate it. So I'm going to bring us all back to that. It is based on the principles of habit stacking. So when you can't create good habits or break old habits, people often fall off the rails. So that's what I want to do for people. There's no guarantee or like big goal of losing this amount of weight or gaining this amount of strength. It is literally bringing us back to what it means to feel and be healthy. So those might be side effects. Actually, they probably will be. But you're going to improve your gut health, your hormone health, your energy, your sleep quality, your hydration, your lymphatic system, your skin, your everything. So that's my goal for these people who join the program for 4 months. The cost of the program, now that the discount is over, the holiday sale is over, is $149 a month, and it's for 4 months. And then after that, you're going to leave with new habits and new friends and a community and so much more knowledge. The other really fun thing that I've almost finished bringing together is I have guest speakers coming once a week, and they're experts in the field, and they're going to be presenting to all my clients, and I'm super excited to have them donate their time and just add to the value of the program. So if you're interested, please connect with me after this and I can help you with that. Lastly, this 12-week series for the spine health is free. If you feel compelled to support me in any way, I do accept donations for through Venmo. And if that's something you are interested in, my Venmo is my full name, no spaces, Kayla Mataszewski. And yeah, I think that is it. So anyways, without further ado, let's jump into our spine health class. And again, if you're in here and you haven't said hi yet, go ahead, I have my comments up and I will be checking those. If you have questions throughout the time together, also drop those in the comments. So last week we went over posture, and we went over some mobility techniques, and we went over sciatic nerve glides, and we're gonna recap some of that again. And I think it would be really great to start with posture. So let's all stand up and just remember what a more correct posture looks like and feels like. Oh, I gotta raise you all up, I think. Hang tight. Okay. All right, we're gonna start with the feet. It's better if you're barefoot, so you can feel the ground. You have sensory nerves in your feet, and they help you figure out where your body is in space, helps with balance, helps with all the things. So feeling the ground is really helpful and important. So start tuning into your feet. You might have to move them a little bit and then plant them. And what I want you to think about is, okay, where's the weight in my feet? Forward, back, middle. You want to make sure your weight in your feet is through the ball of the big toe, the ball of the pinky toe, and the heel. And then what I want you to do, once you have equal weight bearing through those points, I want you to see if you can make a little bit of an arch in your feet. Now you're not curling your toes under, you're thinking about the ball of the big toe pulling back towards the heel and creating an arch, okay? Once you're there and you feel really grounded, you're kind of gripping the ground, your arch is strong. Next thing I want you to look at is your knees, okay? You don't want your knees locked out. You want your knees a little bit soft. Pretend there's a dog running around. You always have a little softness in your knees, a little athletic stance, right? So a tiny bit of softness in your knees, not locked out. So when we lock out, look what happens. Your pelvis tilts forward, and then you get this bigger arch in your back, and you're just hanging out on your ligaments and your muscles, all these problems. So then up the chain, you want to make sure your pelvis is directly aligned over the center of the weight of your feet, okay? So you don't want your pelvis in front of your feet. You don't want your pelvis tucked under behind. Everything's stacked nicely up on top of each other, okay? Next area, rib cage. This is where a lot of people falter, because as soon as I say posture, they go, ah. Again, I just ate, so we got this food baby going on. They stick their chest out tall, their rib cage flares. No. That's not good. That's not good posture. That's just creating this excessive arch in your back, and your back muscles are just gripping the entire time. Your abs are lengthened, they're not active. So what you want to do now is make sure your rib cage is directly over your pelvis, okay? So try to find pelvis or rib cage neutral, pelvis neutral, stacked over the center of mass or center of gravity over your feet, over your arches. So once your rib cage is lined up, next think about your spine. Think about lengthening up through your spine without arching, so it's subtle. You're just getting tall through your spine as if someone was pulling this hair on the top of your head. This deep corset core muscle will come in to hold you in place. Rib cage stays stacked over pelvis. Remember that again. And then be lengthened through your spine. Okay, woo, we're feeling grounded. We're feeling tall. Nice, maybe you grew an inch. Things are feeling a little more active. You're working a little harder to hold yourself up. Next place, shoulders. Okay, be careful with this one too, because as soon as I say posture and shoulders, people go, whoop, rolling right back, chest goes up, ribs flare. Okay, no, keep everything below, neutral and natural, and just get your shoulders back a little bit. Shoulders should, mine are a little rounded, I'm a little tight in the front. Shoulders should line up directly over your hip joint. So if there's a line coming down from the ceiling, that's where you line up. Okay, next. Head position. You don't want to be cranked up, you don't want to be cranked down, you don't want to be super forward. Find this nice neutral position where you have this little bit of curvature in your neck, but you're nice and tall through your whole spine, and everything's aligned. Eyes are looking out at the horizon. Okay? So those are the big things. Arches. Equal weight bearing through feet, knees slightly unlocked, pelvis flat, not tipped forward, not tipped under, nice and neutral. Rib cage directly over pelvis, shoulders in line with hips, neck, natural curvature. And the reason that's important is posture is not good or bad. We have a variety of postures, and that's an okay thing. We want variety. We want to be dynamic humans. It's when you get stuck in one posture, that's when we have problems. But there is a position where your joints and your ligaments and muscles are more happy and more efficient. And that, what we just went over, is where that's at. Okay? So this video will end up on YouTube, and you can refer back to it and work on your posture. Really important for working out too, that you have that base. Okay? All right. Now let's jump right into our breathing technique. Let's see. Yep. Lie right down on the floor. Knees are bent. Let's go over our breathing super quick to get our core and pelvic floor ready to support us during this class. Oh, gotta lower you all again. Okay. Okay. So laying on your back, knees are bent. Start with a big inhale. Expand, relax everything. Feel the air go down into your pelvic bowl. Being modest, letting your belly get big. Reminder, your back does not arch when you inhale, okay? Your back actually expands and rounds the opposite direction into the floor. Exhale out, pursed lips. Pull everything up and in. Pelvic floor comes in, deep core comes in, rib cage comes down. Inhale, expand everything. Exhale, pull everything up and in. Inhale, let's do 3 more on your time. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to move right into our bridge, and this is going to be to activate your back muscles as well. So if you joined me in the 12-week core and pelvic floor, we avoided using our back. We were focusing more on glutes, core and pelvic floor, but we are going to include your spine in this one. So you're going to overemphasize the push up from the floor. So the bridge, your feet are shoulder width apart, and then you're going to, on your exhale, squeeze your glutes, push your heels into the ground, lift your butt up off the floor, and extend a little extra through your low back. Now, do that segmentally, and same thing when you come down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Lift up, glutes lift, pelvis lifts, then your spine starts to extend. Hold all of that. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your low back, 1 vertebrae at a time as you lower down. Let's do 6 more. Lift up, extra lift to get your low back helping. We're strengthening those low back muscles. Super important to do that. Most people avoid that and they want to stretch and rotate and move that area. Sure, that's great. It needs to move, but it also needs to be strong. It also needs to stabilize. I think I have a comment, so you all finish, probably 3 to 4 more. Let's see. Oh, hi, Janelle. I know. You're going to heal up soon and join us soon. I know. I'm glad you're here. There's plenty to learn just by being here too. So I really admire you for taking that time and feeling some benefit and importance in being here. And I love having you here, so I'm glad you're here. All right, one more. All right, roll onto your side. Push yourself up to sitting. Find yourself on your hands and knees. We're going to do the cat-cow. Super intentional with this one, with our breath. So cat-cow, you're going to make sure your hands are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. On your exhale, round up like a cat. Really push your mid-back away. Drop your head, let it be heavy. Tuck your tail under. Inhale into cow. Really drop that mid-back spine between your shoulder blades. Extend your head and neck up as far as you can. Exhale back into cat. Inhale into cow. Really feel the muscles in your back helping as you go into cow here. And then exhale, pulling your abdominals in, pulling that pubic bone up towards your head. Coordinating it with your breath. Inhale into cow, exhale into cat. Really push that spine away. A lot of tension from your day. We're trying to move it around. Let's have you do 2 more in each direction on your breath and your timing. And when you're ready, you're going to carefully lie down on your belly in whatever way you can get there. Okay. Next, we're going to do a cobra pose. This one's really good for your low back. So what you're going to do, you're going to be lying flat on the ground. And then what I want you to do now is keeping your pelvis glued to the floor, doesn't come up. You're going to go up onto your forearms. Okay, this might be where you stay, and that's okay. And then what I want you to think about doing is kind of gently squeezing your low back muscles to extend and arch your back a little bit more. And then if you can, push yourself up as high as your spine and body lets you, keeping your pelvis on the floor. 5-second hold, lower down, essentially almost envisioning 1 vertebrae at a time. And then you're going to push up to the height that your body lets you. 5-second hold and do 8 more on your timing. You can have a gentle glute squeeze, but I want your low back helping. Let your low back muscles help lower you down too. So in this direction, the low back muscles are shortening and contracting. If you use them to help lower, they're lengthening and contracting, and that's arguably more important. Because when you go to lower something, like if you're carrying it and you go to set it down, those muscles have to stay engaged to help you lower things down to the ground. Let's do 1 more. Okay, excellent. All right, so the next thing we're gonna work on is moving our arms and our legs around a stable spine. Okay, so the very first one we're gonna do is just called hip extension or straight leg hip extension. Let me just make sure you can see me. You're gonna be lying completely flat, so whatever's comfortable for you. And then you are going to stabilize through your core and your back. And then you're going to lift your right leg straight as high as you can without your pelvis popping up off the ground too much. So essentially your glute is doing a lot of the work, but your spine is working to help stabilize. So then we're going to alternate on this one because the rotational component of stability is really important. So then you're going to lift your left leg up as high as you can. And then alternate with control, left and right, until you have completed, let's do 16. So 8 on each side. Now, if you like the coordination of the breath and that helps you find your deep core, you're going to exhale as you lift your leg up. Feel your glute firing, feel your low back muscles helping. Lifting that leg up as high as you can. You might have restrictions because you're tight in the front of your hip. Your hip flexors might be restricting this motion. That's okay. There's something called reciprocal inhibition, and what that means is when you contract one muscle, the opposite muscle must relax. So the more you strengthen one group of muscles, the opposite side muscle has to lengthen and relax. So it's just an indirect way of stretching the hip flexors. Intentional and controlled movements here. In good old Kayla fashion, I have lost track of how many we've done. So I'm going to do one more on each side for good measure, and we'll move on to the next exercise. Okay, so we just worked on moving our legs around a stable spine. Now we'll do our arms. So let me lower myself down. Okay, so we're gonna do something called the Y, the T, and the I. This is a really good thing to do for shoulder health. Lying on the floor is a little bit of a more difficult version of it, but the purpose of this is spine stability. So we can put intention on all different types of exercises, and for sake of tonight, we're going to use Y, T, and I to work on spine stability. So what you're going to do, and you might need to put a little pillow or rolled up towel under your forehead, because your head's going to be flat down into the floor. Your arms are going to be out, up above your head, straight, like you're doing a Y for like the YMCA when you're doing that fun dance. And what you do now in the Y position is you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades and your mid-back muscles to lift your arms up off the floor as high as you can. It might not be very high. So again, similar reason the legs weren't lifting very high. You might have a lot of chest or pec tightness. That's okay. What I want you to focus on and be very intentional about is squeezing your shoulder blade muscles together and stabilizing your spine and keeping those muscles engaged. So you're gonna lift, lower. Do 10 of those. Oh, I don't know if you could hear me. I had my face on the floor. Do 10 Ys, lifting up. Now, with these, it is really important that you're lifting through your mid-back and your shoulder blades are not lifting upwards towards your ears, because then you're going to be activating your upper trap muscles, and those are already probably kind of tight and overused. So I only bring that up because I was starting to feel it. So you want to be very diligent about squeezing your shoulder blades down and back and not letting them shrug up towards your ears. Like I said, it might be a very small movement, but think about the movement coming more from your shoulder blades, less from the arms. And your mid-back, extending and keeping those muscles engaged. Okay, well, I probably have done 10. Now we're gonna do the T. Your arms are gonna be out to the side like an airplane. And it's the same principle, same concept. You're going to be squeezing your shoulder blades together, mid-back muscles supporting, staying stable through your spine. Lift up, squeezing the shoulder blades together and lower. So this is the T, it's like an airplane. We're gonna do 10 of those. Okay. Once you've done 10, we're going to move on to the I. The I is your arms are down by your side, palms are down, and then with this one, we're going to add a very tiny upper body lift too. So as you lift your arms back or up towards the ceiling, I want you to lift up your mid and upper back as well. Squeezing everything together and lower back down. Again, very intentional about your mid-back and your spine kind of helping and extending. Those muscles are supporting, shoulder blades are squeezing, arms are lifting. Shoot for 10 of those. Okay, now what I want you to do is join me again in your hands and knees position. We're gonna combine all of that. I'm gonna do the bird dog. Okay. Okay, so hands and knees, hands are directly under shoulders, knees are directly under your hips. Hey, Ellie, kind of move. And then you're going to take your right arm and your left leg and extend them both out at the same time. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna stabilize through your spine and your core. Don't let anything move. I have something behind me, so I can't straighten my leg, but I want you all to straighten your leg behind you. Bring that right arm and left leg back down. Lift your left arm, right leg up. Now be very diligent about not overextending through this one. We're staying nice and neutral. The challenge to the spine stability is coming from alternating left and right sides. So a little rotational challenge. And then also resisting overextension and keeping everything nice and still. So that's really stabilizing the spine and the core. So right arm, left leg, extending, reaching. Everything staying neutral. Bring it back down, alternate, slow and steady. I want you to do 20 total, so 10 on each side. Make sure you are breathing throughout. If you're wanting to coordinate it, you're exhaling as you lift, inhale as you lower. If you're way ahead of me, the next thing we're going to drop down into is child's pose. And for those of you who don't tolerate being in an all the way flexed knee position, you can be on your back and then you hug your knees. So when you're ready, drop into child's pose. And in child's pose, what I want you to do is play around with your arm positions. You can reach to the left, reach to the right. But while you're in those positions, on your inhales, I want you to really expand into your back and that back rib cage. And then for those of you who are not able to do the child's pose, you are on your back, hugging your knees. And what you can do in the knee hug position is you can rock left and right, just a little bit. And if you want to shake that up a little bit, you can do one leg at a time, which is kind of nice because then you're getting the hip flexor on the straight leg to stretch. Working on our breath, big inhales. And if you're doing one leg straight, you can switch. Okay, let's move into our sciatic nerve glide. This one, let's have you all start with your knees bent. You're on your back. You're going to take your left leg, bring it up towards your belly, grab your thigh in the back of the thigh. To glide the sciatic nerve through its pathway, what you'll do now is you're going to straighten your knee, point your toes down towards you, point your toes up, bend your knee. You're going to go through that. We'll do 6 to 8 times, whatever feels right for you. Straighten your knee, toes go towards you, toes go to the ceiling, bend your knee. Straighten, toes down, toes up, bend knee. So you're gliding that sciatic nerve through its pathway. And after you've done 6 to 8, switch to the other side. Same thing. Grab behind the right thigh, straighten the knee, point the toes down towards you, toes up to the ceiling, bend the knee. Repeat. Straighten the knee, toes down, toes up, bend knee. Straighten the knee, toes down, toes up, bend the knee. Okay, beautiful. Last one. The figure 4 stretch. Knees are bent, feet are on the floor. Take your left foot, put it on your right knee. Push that knee away. If that's enough of a stretch that you feel kind of in the buttock area, then stay there. If you need more of a stretch, take your hands and grab your right thigh, your right leg, and pull it up towards you. And if you're in this bigger stretch position, you can kind of rock your pelvis left and right to see if there's a spot where you feel the stretch more. And if you find that spot, hold it there. And once you're holding it there, practice your really deep breathing. Carefully come out of that, switch, You're going to put your right foot on your left knee. Push that knee away, and if that's enough of a stretch, stay there. If you need more and can do more, grab under your left thigh, pull it up towards you. Rock left and right to see if you find a tighter spot. And deep breathe into it. Okay, come out of that carefully, roll onto your side, sit yourself right back up. Grab your phone, your laptop, computer, whatever you're following along with, and write me some questions. Send me a comment. I want to hear from you all. That was good. Kind of made me sleepy at the end there doing those stretches for some reason. So yeah, the big theme tonight was just activating. Well, first we did a posture and then activating the small muscles around the spine to stabilize you. So completely different intention than what we worked on in the last 12-week series of core and pelvic floor. But, sorry, just got a message. Okay. And, hi guys. So sweet. I'm so glad that you're here. Lost my train of thought. We're working on stabilizing the spine by waking up those muscles in an intentional way. And that's going to translate over to things you do in your daily life. And so those muscles turn on and stabilize you at the right times when you need them to. So, you know, we work so hard on stretching and mobilizing the low back when in reality, actually that area just is craving more stability. The mobility comes from your shoulders, your mid-back, and your hips. And then beyond that, your ankles as well. But for the sake of what's around the spine, those are the big ones. Because if you lose mobility in those areas that should be mobile, then your poor low back is going to be like, well, I'll try to move in this area so we have more range of motion because your body's just looking to function. So, yeah, anyways, so we're stabilizing the low back, mobilizing the stabilizing low back, mobilizing mid back. Let's see what we have. Tessa, I'm so glad you made it. Yay. I love just knowing you're here. It's a good energy for me. Natasha, great to see you as well. Oh my gosh. Earlier you had back pain and now it's feeling better. Oh my God. That makes my little physical therapy heart so happy. And then Brenda, thank you. I can feel it in my hip flexors. Great class. Oh, it's so great to have you. I'm so glad you came. Isn't that cool? Once we really tune into our body and like understand how it should be moving and what we should be feeling, it makes a huge difference. The nervous system and the brain-body connection is so important. So that's why my classes are slow and intentional and methodical. So Eleanor, hi. Yay, there was more of you in here than I knew. That makes me so happy. So reminder, these end up on YouTube. So if you need to refer back to them, you can go to my YouTube channel and watch them again. Tell your friends all about them. Let's get more of us in here. You know, the more we all share, the better we all do. And honestly, the accountability of having a buddy in a group is like, the impact they're finding in the research even is profound. So if you have a friend you want to do these with, like, bring them in. It's way more motivating to have more people like sharing a journey with you. So I'm glad to be sharing it with you all. Natasha, these classes have taught me so much. I'm so thankful for the work that you do and the compassion you have for people. I've said it before, but you really do emit such a beautiful light and presence, and find myself through these classes trying to practice being more gentle with myself in so many ways. Oh, okay. Right in the heart. You're amazing. Thank you so much for saying that. That means so much to me. Truly. I'm not one to hold back compliments or things I want to say like that. So hearing you say that was really beautiful. Thank you so much. And you deserve to be gentle to yourself. You're your best friend. You're the one thing you have in your whole life. So treat yourself well. And one more shameless plug, I would love to have you all join my 4-month coaching program. That's going to be a really beautiful way to stay accountable too. So anywho, this was great. I'll see you all next Tuesday. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please reach out. Always open and available for that. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your night. I love you. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. I'll see you next week.